All right. Should be going.
You're live on YouTube right now, huh?
Yes, sir. All right. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Third Generation Wrestling. Quite an eventful Monday Night Raw it was. Oh, let's change this. The Real Big E, Rob the Ambassador, and Doc Stevens is in the building. Why did you
Doc
spell
with
that
a
shit with a K? Yeah.
What happened?
You never mind. I don't know. Why are we acting surprised or shocked? I don't know.
About what? What I do now?
I just know, man. I'm just saying. Doc with a K. That's all. That's all.
Don't worry about it. So, before we get to the topic of the day, I guess, we got Hell in a Cell coming up next month. Potentially could be going, not 100% sure yet, but we're in that phase of, working on it. I know Doc, you said you're going to be out of town, so.
Maybe. We definitely there. If I don't go.
I got the tickets.
Oh, you got the tickets?
I got 2 tickets.
Oh, well, never mind. We're going.
Yeah, we're going. So, I mean, unless you're going to.
No, I didn't know you were
back out. We're going.
Okay. As we say in the Navy, belay my last, we going to Hell in a Cell. And you don't have to get no hotel or nothing. You can come stay here at the house. It's fine.
Okay. All right. Well, yep.
We'll make accommodations for you. You got a spare bedroom down here, so no worries.
Might bring company, so I got a room booked just in case.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Let's just get to the elephant in the room, and that's the whole Sasha Banks and Naomi situation. I don't know what to call it. So I'm gonna just start off with reading the official statement by WWE. When Sasha Banks and Naomi arrived at the arena this afternoon, they were informed of their participation in the main event of tonight's Monday Night Raw. During the broadcast, they walked into WWE Head of Talent Relations John Laurinaitis' office with their suitcases in hand, placed their tag team championship belts on his desk, and walked out. They claimed they weren't respected enough as tag team champions, and even though they had 8 hours to rehearse and construct their match, they claimed they were uncomfortable in the ring with 2 of their opponents, even though they had matches with those individuals in the past with no consequence. Monday Night Raw is a scripted live TV show whose characters are expected to perform the requirements of their contract. We regret we were unable to deliver as advertised tonight's main event. Okay. I don't recall anybody walking out like this since like Stone Cold Steve Austin, other than Sasha Banks. I mean, she's obviously done this before. This is, she was mad about WrestleMania 35 when they had to lose the titles to the Buconics. That was a whole thing. And then there was another, we don't know what happened last year at SummerSlam, why she wasn't there. That was never actually clarified. So, she's a repeat offender. This is the easy way I can put it. But I know, Doc, I called you earlier. You didn't know anything about it. So what your immediate reaction?
Like wow. Like you said, you're used to Sasha. She's done it, 3 or 4 times before. But Naomi, it's like if you watch her body language, you could tell something wasn't right. Like the last few months, like since she's been back, the whole thing with her and Sonya, it looked like it was scripted, but then it looked like it was kind of personal. But yeah, I'm actually shocked. The Sasha part, I'm not. But Naomi walking out, yeah.
And that's what's trippy, because Naomi was a 6-pack challenge match. Naomi was booked to win. And then she would have been no more contender to face Bianca. So it's like, why do you have a problem with that? Now, even if you weren't going to win at the pay-per-view, you were still in a high-profile match, and they weren't, they were booking you in a high spot, and I don't know.
Maybe Sasha got in her head.
And that's what Rob said earlier. He's like, I hope it wasn't influenced by Sasha. Sasha got a whole nother thing going on. That's why I kind of was like, well, look, if you don't want to do this anymore, just go to Hollywood. You got one foot in the door anyway. You've been on, Mandalorian. I mean, you are forever in Star Wars lore now. You are there. Can't nobody take that away from you. So I don't know, Rob. How'd you react to this?
My initial reaction was, well, here goes Sasha's at it again. But I don't want to jump to that conclusion because details are still kind of sketchy. Mm-hmm. I am all for wrestlers or anybody who works any kind of job. If you feel like you're being disrespected, speak up about it, stand up for yourself. I'm all for that. But for them to just drop their titles on the desk and walk out, if that is the way it happened, and like I said, with Sasha being someone who has done this before, I don't know, man. I just, and like you said, Naomi was scheduled to go over in this match and face Bianca, a match I would have liked to have seen, and that's a good spot for Naomi. She wouldn't have won, but that's okay. She still would have been the tag team champion, right?
Right.
And then they referenced something in there about Naomi and Sasha having a problem working with two of the competitors in this match. Based on a tweet that I saw from Killian Dane, they were referencing Nikki ASH and Doudrop. I don't know what problem they have with them. I did see in the match between those four last week, there was a segment in the match where Doudrop, she did her move where Naomi was on the ground and Doudrop was standing over her, and she did the drop on her. Right. And to me, it looked like there was some. She really put her weight on it. So I don't know if Naomi had an issue with that. I really don't know what is going on. As far as they're feeling like they're not being respected as tag team champs, look, that belt has never really meant anything. When Bayley and Sasha first had it, like you said, they lost to the Iconics, which, I mean, no one expected that to happen.
Sure.
And they won it back at Mania only a little bit over a month ago. I don't know if they feel like they were promised certain things once they won the belts and they feel like WWE hasn't delivered. None of that is really clear. But I'm getting a little bit tired of hearing about Sasha being unhappy about something. No matter what job you're in, if you're unhappy, you go to your boss and your boss may say, well, you know what, I'm hearing your grievances, but right now, this is just the way it is. This is just the way we're going to do things. Well, that's the wrestling business. I mean, and I've said this before on the podcast, you really don't get to dictate your wins and losses. You have input, but part of the wrestling business is you just kind of do what the company scripts you to do. And a lot of times you may not like it, but it's just part of the business. That's just how the business works. So just based on what I know now, I'm a little unhappy with Sasha, and I'm just hoping that Naomi, she hasn't taken Naomi down with her.
Do you think Sasha feels like she should get the same treatment as The Rock? Like how he can go in and out. Like, I'm going to take a few months off, go to a movie, then come back and...
No, I think Rob hit the nail on the head. It's like, okay, so they had the whole push in the storyline leading up to Mania with the match or whatever. I could see them thinking, okay, now that you have us as the champions, you're going to book us right. You're going to put us in higher profile matches, even though they were given the main event on Raw, which that's not bad, but okay. You don't want to work with Doudrop and Nikki ASH. I mean, at some point in time, like Rob said, you got a job to do. And at the end of the day, sometimes you got to do things you just don't want to do. while she is probably more of a mainstream name than AJ Styles, but AJ Styles is very, very well known in the wrestling industry. And I guarantee you, if it was up to him, if he would rather do a singles run and going for the championship or be stuck with Omos for a year. Okay. But I mean, he worked that program with Omos and never phoned it in. Never. Uh, I'm pretty sure when they first put Randy with Riddle, he didn't want to do that shit. It just happened to turn out to work, and it got over. And it goes back to what Blake talked about with Keith Lee. Vince asked him to be a heel. He's like, well, I don't know if I can do that. Like, this, I'm paying you to do something. You are contractually obligated to do this stuff. I'm trying to have faith in you so I can put you on TV and do something that will help. Whether you agree with it or not, sometimes you gotta take one. Matter of fact, the best example I can give is Drew McIntyre working a program with Happy Corbin and AssCat Moss for 4 months. who the hell wants to do that? Okay, and he did it, and he never phoned it in. So that's my thing. I don't like that. There are points where if you're truly being disrespected, like if they weren't on TV, with usage rate aside, you're still the women's tag team champion. You are still in the main event on Raw. They are still using you and writing you in. If at first you don't succeed, try again. Okay, go do the damn match. Keep pushing for what you want till you get it. But walking off, that's just like, okay, well, WWE, they're not going to let you out your contract. Like anybody that goes on Twitter and asks for their release on Twitter, they never get it. It's never happened. Maybe once or twice. But usually they don't do it that way. So it's sad and unfortunate because I know so many young girls look up to Sasha Banks and Naomi.
Yeah, and I worry that Sasha is really, she's getting the reputation of being a bit of a diva.
A bit.
Well, I'm trying to be nice here, and I'm not sure I should.
Be real,
because once again, we're in a situation where Sasha appears to be taking her
liberties.
Yeah, and just taking her ball and running home. I guess that's what I was trying to say.
Oh yeah,
and it's getting old, man. It's really getting old, and that's just not the way the business works. I think the Inside Man also said something about the fact that there was some rumor about Sasha maybe getting into a program with Ronda.
Mm-hmm.
Whether or not that's true, I don't know. Look, I think those would make for some good matches. I think Sasha would be used to get Ronda over. I don't know if that bothers her. It shouldn't, because somebody had to get her over when she became champion. That's how the business works. Okay. And if she doesn't understand that, then, and once again, before I appear like I'm jumping on Sasha a lot. I don't know a lot about the situation. Based on what I do know, this is what I see and this is what I feel. And I just think that, if this is the way Sasha thinks the business should work, maybe she's not in the right business, even though I know how much she has always wanted to be in this business.
Yeah, it's just a damn shame. And I actually think that her and Ronda, maybe not the first time or the second time, but if they have like a series of matches, I think maybe the third match she could beat Sasha and it wouldn't hurt Ronda at all. And it would make the title mean more, and it would make Sasha mean, her character mean more. But why would I do that for you when every time we get to a point where you don't like what's going on, you leave? You don't threaten to leave, you leave.
Right. And I mean, look, like I said, if they were going to do that program with her and Ronda, look, to make a credible champion, that champion has to be credible opponents, and Sasha is a credible opponent. Like you said, maybe Sasha gets over at one point, maybe not though. I mean, she's had her run and she's currently in a championship run. So I don't know, man. I just think right now once again, I'm going to say it based just on the little bit I know about it so far. To me, it's once again a bad look for Sasha.
Oh yeah, no doubt there. No doubt. Before we close it out, again, Hell in a Cell. They did announce Cody and Seth, so we'll be catching that match.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know what else. I think that's the only match so far.
Well, actually, because of what happened with this situation that
Oh
we
yeah,
been discussing,
there is one more.
yeah, they had a main event between Becky Lynch and Asuka, and the winner will face Bianca, and it turns out the winner was my girl Asuka. So that's going to be a match we'll see at Hell in the Cell also.
Should be decent.
Nice.
This should be pretty decent.
Yeah. I don't know if Roman's gonna be on the card, but I hope so. At least make an appearance. I want to be somewhere and hold up ones.
Right. And I do have I've got an Acknowledge Me T-shirt, and I've got a Wreck Everyone and Leave cut off hoodie. So one of those could be my attire for the evening, but we'll just have to wait and see. I also have an Asuka T-shirt, so I don't know.
I tell you what you do. You wear the Asuka T-shirt and you put the Wreck Everyone and Leave hoodie over that, and there you got them both.
Oh, there you go. That might work.
There's always a way.
Listen, E, because y'all are tools, but we the ones.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Sorry. Had to get that one out. Sorry.
Okay. I'm with you, man. I'm with you.
All right, y'all. Well, we were getting ready to do another Try Not to Laugh. I know y'all love seeing these. So it'll be posted later on if you're watching this live. And so we'll catch y'all then. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and share. Check us out on Instagram, Third Generation Wrestling Podcast, Twitter, podcast_third. And we'll see y'all in a little bit for this preacher content. Take care, everybody. Peace.